What I've been telling you about the coming of Satyug, and that many will vanish in the phase transition, comes from the descriptions from Krishna, Markandeya, and others 5,000 years ago, and written in the ancient Vedic literature. And partly from my own experiences. I'm just telling you what the ancient gods told us is going to happen. So it's not just my prediction. Maharshi, in our time, also promised it. In this coming phase transition, humanity will not die off completely. 1 out of 8, about 1 billion people, will survive this world transition. This is what Maharshi told us. The others will leave in different ways. The virus is a purifier, and some will go through the viruses, with other viruses coming. And that will be mostly those who are of low intelligence and follow Trump and don't wear a mask or keep their distance from others or want to go back to work. That virus is mutating into other strains, making a vaccine essentially useless. And new viruses are appearing that have been released from beneath the polar ice caps that have been frozen for millions of years. There are also plagues of locusts already appearing, and floods, both of which have devastated crops all over the world, not to mention the fires. So, hunger or starvation will be widespread. But most people will probably leave Earth by just disappearing here and appearing on some other planet because they cannot vibrate in the high level that is Satyug. That is painless. But those who die through viruses, famine, or plagues will get another chance to live in some other world. Death is only temporary, and we don't have to feel sorry for them in any way. Since the soul is eternal, there is no real death. The body dies, but we live on and take on a new body. Most of the time, that's a good thing. These other realms people go to after death, it's called, are more real than what we experience on Earth. Death is nothing to be afraid of. Just watch the videos on YouTube about people who have died on the operating table and have been revived. They have said they went to a heavenly world where everything was perfect and filled with light and forgiveness and love. That is oneness with God. They did not want to return to Earth. They were alive even though their body had died on the operating table. They flatlined. The doctor pronounced them dead. But they were revived, and when they came back, they all had similar experiences. Sometimes these experiences of that light come outside of the hospital. Sometimes it comes during meditation. But that light is a gift to us that we need not fear death. When the soul leaves the body, it stays in the celestial world for a while, and there are 7 levels of the celestial and 7 levels of the hell worlds. So Earth is about in the middle. After being there for a while, if we are not enlightened, we come back to Earth in another physical body. and finish paying our karmic debt, or to experience things here in the gross world that we cannot experience in the heavenly worlds. If you ask the typical biologist or physiologist about consciousness, they'll tell you that consciousness arises from the interactions of neurons in the brain and created by the body. Actually, if you know the ancient Vedic literature written by the enlightened people of advanced civilizations in the past who knew about life and consciousness and death, you know that it is consciousness that gives rise to the body. So it's the other way around. In Satyug, we're still ourselves, but we just become one with God and experience infinite bliss at all times. The possibilities of what we can do in Satyug are infinite. It doesn't have to be limited to just flying like a bird. Just use your imagination. What would you like to see? What would you like to create? You will be given anything you want. And things you imagine in Satyug are far greater and more wondrous than what you can imagine here today. In fact, our desires are fulfilled there even before we have the desire. The gods know better than we do what will please us, and they give that to us. You would not have to fly to go anywhere, because, or even have to think yourself there, because you're infinitely happy where you are, and you can create any environment you want around you, whatever you wish. The environment comes to you. You don't go to the environment. Enlightenment is infinite fulfillment, but it's also growth. You'll grow in bliss, knowledge, love, peace, creativity, and all good things.